Hey everyone, this is I Love Nintendo 1999, and sorry I am so late with this. It's just that school has been driving Tyler Guy 2800 and I busy. So here is the spoiler review of Sponge Out of Water.
Soiled it! Soiled it! Soiled it! Soiled it! Soiled it!
Yes, I am ready.
I'm ready. So, let's start off by talking about the introduction to the movie. So, how was the beginning of it?
Let me see if I can remember. It started with Burger Beard, correct?
Yeah.
All
And
right.
it actually was on the island, remember?
Yeah. It was a good beginning. I think it gave us a good introduction to who Burger Beard was. The seagulls were pretty funny too.
They were. And what I really liked was that it was on the island, so I guess that island from SpongeBob actually has some purpose.
Yeah, and that actually leads us to the end of the movie where it all ties back into the island.
Yeah.
And Burger Beard is actually not really a new character if you think about it. But anyways, we're not at the end yet. We're still at the beginning.
Yeah. And when it goes directly to Bikini Bottom, it's kind of disappointing because the intro song isn't Thank Gosh It's Monday.
Yeah, I don't know why they took that out for some reason. Because when I heard the full song on YouTube, it sounded like it was the intro to the movie. You heard the full themes, the full song on YouTube.
Yeah, it was really good.
It sounded like it was gonna be the beginning of the movie. But I think the reason why they took it out is because of the references to the first movie. And I guess they wanted this to be new to the younger audiences, and they didn't want people to get confused.
You didn't like how Thank Gosh It's Monday was taken out. I didn't like that either. I mean, it was
a great song. I mean, we got, obviously, the teamwork song with SpongeBob and Plankton, which was pretty funny.
Which one? The hallucinogenic one?
Yeah. But it didn't really make up for Thank Gosh It's Monday. I really wish that was in there. And what was the point for Slash being in the trailer if he's not in the movie at all?
I know, it was just crazy that they didn't have any killer songs. The first movie had Now That We're Men, Goofy Goober Rock, Standard Goofy Goober. It had a lot of good songs, but this one unfortunately didn't. And what do you think of the 2D animation, since it's been probably years since you've seen a 2D movie in theaters?
It is beautiful. I think it's even better than the first one.
Well, obviously going to be better than the first, considering that 10 years have progressed. Or in this case, 10 years later.
It's so amazing, though, that they still have the talent to do hand-drawn animation.
I know. Considering that the series animation hasn't been that good, I think it looks really great in this movie, and it should have stuck with that. So, more about the beginning. So, with the movie, it starts out with SpongeBob trying to get the formula away from Plankton, and remember Mr. Krabs' torture method?
Yep.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Jimmy.
Jimmy who?
Jimmy back the formula. And then SpongeBob starts laughing, and it's a great joke. It's a great joke for adults, considering that my mom is one of those people who can't stand SpongeBob's laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
And
actually, a lot of the jokes were pretty funny. I thought because season 6 through 8 were pretty stale with comedy. I mean,
they were stale with everything.
Yeah, it was stale with everything, but it had a few decent moments. But here, it was almost as if it was a season 4 episode, which actually was funny.
I think it's more on the season 3 quality. It's just that good.
It's in the middle. It's in the middle of 3 and 4, I'd say.
Season 3.5.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't really consider this a sequel. I'd consider it... Actually, I would consider it a prequel, actually. Or maybe its own thing. I'd consider it a prequel.
I consider it its own thing because it has no references to the first movie.
Well, that's why it could also be a prequel.
It's pretty versatile when it comes to that. So...
Yeah.
What do you think of SpongeBob and Plankton's teamwork?
I actually really liked it. I didn't think they were gonna pull it off, just because it was done so well in FUN, the episode.
Yeah.
And just the character interactions between SpongeBob and Plankton, it's just so funny because they're complete polar opposites.
Yeah.
It just works so well.
It reminded me of Single Cell Anniversary a little bit, with Plankton not being able to pronounce T on work like he couldn't pronounce love. But it reminds me more of an extended version of fun. So,
Yeah.
what do you think of the apocalyptic zone?
It was I think the
So yeah, the goth type thing was pretty hilarious, and
it was I think it allowed the characters to be out of character for once, unlike seasons 6 through 8 where they're like out of character for no reason.
Yeah.
Here they have a reason because Bikini Bottom is in peril.
yeah, and after they took off the clothes, nobody is goth anymore.
Yeah, and Squidward's like, we could have taken these things off.
I kind of like the style though. Imagine Sponge Goth SquarePants, season
God.
10.
But yeah, that was funny, and nobody was out of character really. I mean, you could argue Patrick, but that's probably because
He's addicted to Krabby Patties.
Yeah.
It's like if you took my Nintendo games away. That's what I would do.
Yeah, but nobody was really out of character, I'd say. I think what was really funny was when Sandy was out of character, when she was saying, the sandwich gods are angry with us.
It sounds like something Patrick would say, but that was really cool seeing the characters out of character, but in a good way. Unlike
Exactly.
seasons 6 through 8. I think 9's
Exactly.
okay, but whatever.
Let's hope season 10 stays on the same path this movie stayed on.
Alright, and now it comes to the time travel sequences. What did you
Oh,
think
boy.
of those? I think it was like an LSD trip or something. Oh, disclaimer, never done LSD.
I knew that there was some some people on YouTube mentioned something about time travel, and I was like, what? This is completely false. So when I came into the movie, I was not expecting those trippy 70s sequences at all.
And
the song
drawings-
that went with
sorry.
it went so perfectly.
I found out what the song's called.
Squeeze Me.
Yeah,
Right?
it got a lot of dislikes for some reason, but it's for a SpongeBob movie. Come on.
Yeah, I went on, because the comments, people are like, we had Goofy Goober Rock and now we have this.
Well, it's
And I'm
not
like,
a full
come
song.
on.
Come on. I mean, if
come
it's
on.
like
It's-
replacing Thank
it's
Gosh
not-
It's Monday, I could understand.
But you can't really do that because it's not really a main song, it's just for a sequence.
Yeah. It's like
And
the
then I-
music they play in like the do 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 in SpongeBob
Yeah.
episodes. Like, who gives a crap?
Exactly. But yeah, the time travel sequences are pretty funny, and that leads us to a new character, not Burger Beard.
Bubbles. Bubbles,
talking
what do you think of him?
He's he is really funny.
He is really
Whenever
funny.
he's trying to talk, he's like, hilarious, man. I couldn't contain myself. I felt like me and my friends were the only one laughing like out loud at that theater.
I was too.
I mean, that character just cracked me up because he couldn't talk without doing the dolphin noise. It was just hilarious.
He's a better version of that character from a season 7 episode where they have to sacrifice Squidward's house. He's just a much better version of that character.
Yeah. And one of the funny scenes there is where SpongeBob's like, "You keep an eye on that planet. You keep an eye on that one." And they're crossing their eyes towards each other, and the planets explode.
Well, it got Bubbles fired from the job he hated. And something to know that Bubbles is actually stop motion animated.
I actually didn't know that, but it seemed kind of obvious because of the way he was moving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, right? But I thought, like, since I saw the Lego movie and that was CGI, I thought that whole movie was stop motion animation. And that really showed me CGI can do really great things. So I thought
If used
Bubbles was
properly.
CGI. Yeah. But, it worked for him. I wasn't really, that worried about it. But that leads us to SpongeBob and Plankton's fallout with each other. After they meet Bubbles, I think, was it?
Yeah. And
I forgot what exactly happened. They got the wrong formula or something.
Yeah.
That Plankton put there. And
so they had to
there was this really funny part where SpongeBob went crazy. He got the garbage and the cleaning products, and somebody in the audience is like, "He's mixing the garbage with the cleaning supplies." Oh, that was really funny. Like, see, that's what I love when characters get out of character for a reason, not just because
just being character out of being character.
Exactly. And then that leads us to SpongeBob's supposed sacrifice until SpongeBob says he smells a Krabby Patty.
Yeah.
Before Mr. Krabs squashes him, he picks the boulder up that he's gonna squash SpongeBob with, and he says, "Go sniff out that formula, boy." And they rip off their clothes, and Squidward's like, "Wait, we could have taken these off like before." Like, come on.
Now, when they get to the surface, they get to breathe on land because of Bubbles granting them the power, so it makes sense, and they turn CGI. Now, I think both of our opinions on the CGI are very different. What do you think of the CGI?
I was impressed. Okay, so the CGI, I wasn't really impressed with it when I saw the trailer because it looked kind of blocky. Like, not bad, but like blocky. But when I went to see the movie, I was up close, so I got to see every little detail. For the regular characters, it didn't look bad. Like, I could see like tiny little pores on SpongeBob, and for Sandy, she looks kind of furry and chipmunk-like. But they all retain their cartoon look. That's what I love about it.
My thoughts on the CGI for the main characters, I think, is a little different. I think it's good, but it wasn't needed. It just felt like, to me, every movie's CGI nowadays. Let's make SpongeBob CGI. The CGI wasn't bad for the characters on any means. It just wasn't needed. Like, come on.
Well, what my friend's dad, he's an animator.
Oh, cool.
And he was telling me that 2D animation is actually more expensive than CGI animation.
Yeah, but SpongeBob revenue's $8 billion a year. It's not like they're going bankrupt.
They went, I think they went down in sales for SpongeBob recently. You know, because they lost viewers, a lot of viewers. So they wanted this. I think they wanted the safest route possible. You know what I mean?
I don't really see the point of keeping it safe, but yeah. For the superheroes, what do you think of their design?
They're actually pretty cool. I love Mr. Krabs' Sir Pinch-A-Lot and the rodent. There was this funny scene where they all were putting their hands in, and Sandy puts her hand in, and they're all like, ew!
I like the superhero designs. I'm fine with those being in CGI. My favorite one was Squidward, and he thought he was so sexy. I'm a god.
Yeah, and that leads to the fight with Burger Beard. They fight. Plankton gives back the formula to Mr. Krabs, surprisingly. And you would have thought, well, maybe Plankton and Mr. Krabs will join together for once. That
would have been cool.
It could have made some really interesting episodes for season 10. But since SpongeBob put everything goes back to normal,
except the abs.
Well, everything went back to normal.
And about the land plot, what did you think of it with them on land? I think it worked really well.
It worked well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't like they were interacting with
humans that much.
Celebrities, and Antonio Banderas as Burger Beard. I didn't even know that was Antonio Banderas because he really got into the character.
He did get into the character. It's not like, we'll just have Neil Patrick Harris talk to the Smurfs. Yeah, that'll be totally fine. So, anything
Sorry.
What were you gonna say?
And then after that, we go to, everything goes back to normal, and then we go to this epic rap battle between the Seagulls and Bubbles, which is actually pretty funny.
It was funny, and to tell you that that was actually the people who made Epic Rap Battles makes it even funnier.
They made that?
Yep,
The
they
people
did.
Who did Epic Rap? They did.
Epic
Wow,
Lloyd and
that.
Nice Peter.
I did not know that. That was pretty clever, especially when the seagull cursed, like they bleeped it out.
Yeah.
I was surprised that they did that, but you know, they bleeped it out, so we don't know what he said.
Yeah. And anything you didn't like about the movie?
I didn't like that they didn't put "Thank Gosh It's Monday," and it felt like, in some ways, like it felt like they cut out a lot. Like
It
you know what I
did.
mean? Like they had some promos where SpongeBob sang this other song where he was like, "Be positive, that's the way to live," something like that. And I'm not sure if that was for promotional reasons or it was in the actual movie, but during that promo there was some scenes there that weren't even in the movie.
Yeah. So that kind of sucked. I didn't really like the ending too much when everything went back to normal, but oh well, it's SpongeBob. Now let's talk about the reception of the movie. Do you agree with the reception of it getting stuff like 7 out of 10, 6.8 out of 10 because of too much water?
Oh, you're referring to some ignorant people, are you?
No, totally I'm not. I'm not referring to the ignorant people. Alright, so you don't agree with the reception of it, right?
I mean, I could see why they would give it that. I mean, of course, it's adults that don't know SpongeBob that well. Okay?
We've been watching
They're
SpongeBob
looking-
all our life, so
Exactly. They're looking for perfection. We're just looking for a good SpongeBob movie or a good SpongeBob story. And if you're a SpongeBob fan, yeah, you will love this. I went on YouTube and looked at the comments, and I was expecting everyone to say, "Oh, this movie sucks." But surprisingly, every SpongeBob fan said that it was good, or it was like not as good as the first movie, but it was still good. Or some people would say it was better than the first movie. So I was surprised.
what do you
with the
think?
reception
Is
of
it
the
better
fan.
than the first?
In some ways it is, in some ways it isn't. Like, it felt like there was a lot cut out. So that's one down. Not a lot of killer songs. That's another down. The ending wasn't really that great. That's another down. But everything else, I think it's on the same boat as the first movie.
I think it's a little better than the first, but I think I'm just so burnt out about watching the first movie for 100 times or something like that.
Yeah. I really hope they make an unedited version with, scenes that they didn't put in the movie for some reason.
Yeah. So, this is our review on Sponge Out of Water, spoiler filled, and I have to make an announcement. We are making a channel called Spongebob TM, where I'll put a link to in the description, and we're gonna post SpongeBob videos as often as we can, and just stuff on SpongeBob. So if you want to go look at that channel, feel free to subscribe.
Exactly, and I think our first video will probably be any news on Season 10, or any news on, like, Blu-ray Sponge Out of Water, or anything like that. So don't expect anything until maybe the summer, when Sponge Out of Water comes out. But
Yeah,
please subscribe for any further news.
and it'll be like a version of Tails' channel, but with SpongeBob news.
Which is a great channel. You guys should check it out.
Yeah, Tails' channel is great.
Yeah, he's the most legit source for Sonic news, and he has really good speculations with
Yeah,
Money 456 and Steven Nux and everyone else.
Mykonos fan as well.
Yeah, but anyways,
Teamwork.
subscribe to the SpongeBob TMs for the latest in SpongeBob news.
Yep. So, thanks for listening to our review, and hopefully you'll see more of the SpongeBob TM.
Together is the key. Nothing's impossible when it's you and me.
I'm doing just fine on my own.
Work is no fun when you do it alone.
If I want it done right, I'll do it by myself.
But what if you need something on a hot